So I just got word of the schedule for EN, and by far this is the weirdest month we've ever had. That unfortunately means this video is also going to be weird, so apologies on that. But before we get into the schedule and new cards this month, let's talk about changes in meta. If this is your first time here, instead of doing one tier list, I do multiple based on exams and spell elements. This is my ranking system. S-rank cards are mono-element cards with advantages that are ready to go right off the bat. A-rank cards have the potential to be mono units, but you need to build them a little first. B-rank cards have one element advantage over the enemy, but for their other spell, it's either the same spell as the enemy or void. There's no disadvantage. C-rank cards are one of the following: same as enemy/void, enemy, void. D-rank cards have one element disadvantage as a default, and then either the same element as enemies or void, but their spell 3 is viable, so these cards can be built to do exams, but they're gonna need work. F-rank cards have advantage disadvantage, and there's no spell 3 to make them more viable. X-rank cards have the same spell type as the enemy and then a disadvantage. These are cards I really don't recommend bringing into exams under any circumstance, but they may be your only option if you're just starting out. So I figured I'd include them, although, again, I don't think you really should bring them into battle. Some of those ranks are specific to certain rarities, and I don't include D to X ranking cards in my tier lists, but I want to tell you guys what those are just so you have a better picture of why certain cards get excluded, and also while I don't talk about D through X cards here, I do say if a card ranks that when I talk about specific card details, so you do need to know what it is. Starting off with Flora exams, here are my tier lists. Top 10 Flora HP hasn't changed, but attack has. Coming in at number 6 is Pom Jamil. He knocked Jack off of the list. F in the chat. The Water HP tier list hasn't changed, but attack has, but more because I changed some categorization, so it knocked some characters off. The current list is as follows, from rank 1 to 10. General's Armor Lilia, Basketball Jersey Ace, Dorm Leona, Pop Music Club Kate, Pom Jamil, Camp Vargas Ruggy, Dorm Malleus, Dorm Rook, Pom Apple, and Rabbitware Deuce. Neither of my Fire tier lists have changed since last month, as well as the SR tier lists, the R tier lists, and the top 10 in all cards. We do have a change in overall highest attack in the game. Pom Jamil comes into the list at number 8, knocking Dorm Malleus out of the top 10. So now that meta updates are out of the way, let's go over this month's schedule. In the beginning of the month, we have a rerun of the Harveston Sledathon. Mid-September, we have Jamil's birthday and a Diasomnia banner. And in late September, we got Ace's birthday, Culinary Crucible, Confection Perfection, and a Terrorist Trending Showcase. Yeah, so I have no clue how to do this video because a lot of this is stuff I've already covered, or in some cases, it's stuff I haven't covered in detail because it was before I started doing card analyses, so now I'm like, oh god, what do I do? I'm packing for a birthday trip and trying to finish a dress for said trip right now, so I don't have a lot of time to put this together. So I already have a dedicated video for the majority of the Pom cards, link will be in the iCard. I don't have Jamil in that video though, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about him here. Jamil is an SSR attack unit, his max HP is 8,754, and his max attack is 7,506. I'm sure no one's surprised to see that while his attack is far above average, because of that his HP is below average. Like I said earlier, he's one of the strongest cards in the game at this point. His spell 1 is Flame Blast, his spell 2 is Leech Shot 2, and later Force Strike 2, and his spell 3 is Water Shot 2. So how does this card rank for exams? I'd give him a B for Flora, D for Fire, and C for Water. For skills, he's got Nullify Freeze, Power Boost again, and Damage Cut. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a Nullify Freeze for allies for 1 turn. At level 5, he gains a minor Power Boost to cast it for 1 turn, and at level 10, it maxes out at Modest Power Boost. On spell 3, he starts out with nothing, you gotta get him to level 5 for additional skills, and when you get him to level 5, he gains a minor Power Boost to cast it for 1 turn, and at level 10, he gains an additional skill, a minor Damage Cut to foes for 1 turn. So Jamil has no vignette, which sucks, but I think at this point we're unfortunately used to it. He has exclusive furniture recipes instead, but once again, I straight up did not think to jot down what the recipes were, so yeah, you get furniture. Don't know what it is, but you get it. His dual magic partner is Jade, who gives him a modest power boost. His other buddies are Riddle with a minor power boost, and Rook with a minor HP boost. Alright, so let's talk about building starting with the basics. In order to Groovy Jamil, you'll need to get him to power level 40 and vignette level 3. Grooving doesn't use up any Thal marks, but it'll cost 5 Cobra Candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfumes, so the more copies you get, the less perfumes you'll be using. Each spell individually needs 351 notepads, 253 textbooks, 111 grimoires, and 318,000 Thal marks. Spell 1 needs these in red items, Spell 2 needs green, and Spell 3 needs blue. In total, that's going to cost 954,000 Thou marks. My suggestions for alternatives are Birthday Jacket Vil as the spell match option, Lab Coat Tray as the skill match option, Ceremonial Robes Kate as the SR budget option, and Halloween Costume Apple as the R budget option. This Jamil is stupidly strong and has a very rare skill. He's in the top 10 highest attack cards, like the stat, and not just that, he's going to be pretty good at debuffing. He's an extremely good card and also adorable and is groovy. Jamil is an SSR defense unit. His max HP is 14,108 and his max attack is 5,115. His HP is above average in both categories, but his attack is below. Still, it's fairly close to the all cards average to the point I don't think it's like that much of a deal. His spell 1 is Force Strike, his spell 2 is Fire Shot 2 and later Flame Blast 2 after some building, and his spell 3 is Water Shot 2. When it comes to exams, I'd give this card a B for floor exams, D for fire, and C for water. He's gonna be pretty decent in most exams. I don't really rank for void ones because I think there's too many things at play there, and I already have too many tier lists in the first place. But in my opinion, Jamil is gonna shine the best in void exams and against void enemies because of his skills. For skills, he's got Cosmic Damage Cut and Regular Damage Cut. On Spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor Cosmic Damage Cut to foes for 1 turn. At level 5, it's Modest, and at level 10, it maxes out at Major. On Spell 3, he starts with a tiny damage cut to foes for 1 turn. At level 5, it's Minor, and at level 10, it's Modest. His duo magic partner is Silver with a modest HP boost. His other buddies are Leona with a minor power boost, and Apple who gives him a minor HP boost. So building. In order to groovy Jamil, you'll need to get him to power level 40 and Vignette level 3. Grooving doesn't use up Thou marks, but it will cost 5 Cobra Candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfume, so the more copies you pull, you'll be using 3 less perfume. Each spell will need 351 notepads, 253 textbooks, 111 grimoires, and 318,000 Thou marks. Spell 1 needs these in green items, Spell 2 needs red, and Spell 3 will need blue items. In total, this is going to cost 954,000 Thou marks. So let's talk about alternatives. My recommendations are Gallicator Ordo as the spell match option, Birthday Bloom Deuce as the skill match option, New Year's Attire Kate as the SR budget option, and Halloween Costume Floyd as the R budget option. Like I touched on before, he's going to be great for void battles. He's going to weaken enemies not just in general, but also specifically when it comes to void spells. This skill is extremely rare. That Deuce I mentioned is the only other unit in EN and JP right now that has this. So if this is something you need for your teams because void battles are habitually wrecking you and you don't have Deuce, you might want to consider pulling for Jamil. So I'm assuming this Diasomnia banner is just going to be the dorm SSRs. I have separate videos on all of them, so I'll put links below for those. Ace is an SSR balance unit. His max HP is 12,064, and his max attack is 5,940. His stats are average for an SSR. His HP is just above while his attack is just below, but really, it's not enough that I think it really means anything. His spell 1 is Aqua Wave, his spell 2 is Leash Shot 2 and later Force Strike 2, and his spell 3 is Fire Shot 2. I'd give this card a D for Flora exams, C for Fire, and B for Water. He's gonna be solid, but honestly, he's not much to write home about. For skills, he's got Damage Cut twice and Power Boost. On Spell 1, level 1, he has a tiny Damage Cut to foes for 1 turn. At level 5, it's Minor, and at level 10, it maxes out in Modest. On Spell 3 at level 5, he gets a minor Power Boost to caster for 1 turn, and at level 10, he gets another minor Damage Cut to foe for 1 turn. His duo magic partner is Apple with a modest HP boost, his other buddies are Leona with a minor power boost, and Jade who gives him a minor HP boost. So building. In order to groovy Ace, you'll need to get him to power level 40 and Vignette level 3. Grooving doesn't use up any Thou marks, but it'll cost 5 heart candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfume, so the more copies you get, the less perfume you'll be using. Now we got spells. Each spell needs 351 notepads, 253 textbooks, 111 grimoires, and 318,000 Thou marks. Spell 1 needs these in blue items, Spell 2 needs green, and Spell 3 will need red items. In total, that's going to cost 954,000 Thou marks. So for alternatives to this ace, we have a lot of extremely close dupes. My suggestions are Stargazer Deuce since he has the same spells and skills, Birthday Boy Riddle since he has the same spells, skills, and 2 buddies, Soomsitter Floyd as the SR budget option, and Halloween Costume Idia as the R budget option. I try not to swing in one direction when it comes to units. After all, something I might not need might be something someone desperately needs. But to be honest, I really can't say I'm impressed with this card. Ace is my son and I love him, but the fact there's not one, but two near dupes to him is a little oof. And on top of that, his skills aren't exactly rare, so there's not even that to make him a bit more exciting. If you need a card like him, you have a lot of options to choose from. Jack is an SR attack unit. His max HP is 7,952, and his max attack is 5,698. His stats are okay for the most part. His HP is massively below average, and his attack is above, but not as much as I would want, but still it's above average, and that's good. His spell 1 is Force Strike, and his spell 2 is Fire Shot 2. How does Jack rank for exams? I'd give him a B for floor exams, X for fire, and F for water. For skills, he's got Power Boost twice. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a tiny Power Boost to allies for 1 turn. At level 5, it's a minor Power Boost to allies for 1 turn, and that's as high as it goes. Over on spell 2, he has nothing at level 1. On level 5, he gets a minor Power Boost to caster for 1 turn, and that's it. It doesn't grow from there either. His buddies are Ace with a minor HP boost, and Vil, who gives him a modest power boost. So let's talk about building. In order to groovy Jack, you'll need to get him to power level 30 and vignette level 2. Grooving will cost 3 wolf candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 40 SR awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 10 perfumes, so the more copies you pull, you'll be using 10 less perfume. Remember, you can potentially earn him by playing the event. You can use the 1 limited SR key on him or Vil, so if you only want him, you don't necessarily need to play the gacha, but that does mean you'll have to use perfumes to uncap him. For building spells, he'll need 276 notepads, 253 textbooks, 31 grimoires, and 145,100 thou marks. Spell 1 needs those in green books, and Spell 2 needs those in water items. It will cost a total of 290,200 thou marks. Vil is an SR attack unit. His max HP is 6,984, and his max attack is 6,141. Vils are a lot like Jack's, where his HP is super below average, but his attack is above. Really, the same comments I had for Jack apply to Vil too. His spell 1 is Aqua Wave, and his spell 2 is Void Shot 2. So, my rankings for Vil are the following. X for Flora, B for Fire, and C for Water. For skills, he's got Nullify Freeze and Power Boost. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a Nullify Freeze to caster for 1 turn. At level 5, it's for allies, and that's it. Over on spell 2 at level 5, he gets a minor Power Boost to caster for 1 turn. Yeah, he doesn't start off with anything, and he also doesn't have any upgrades at level 10. This is it. His buddies are Jack with a modest Power Boost, and Idia who gives him minor HP boost. Alright, so let's talk about building, starting with the basics. In order to groovy Vil, you will need to get him to power level 30 and vignette level 2. Grooving doesn't use up any thou marks, but it will cost 3 crown candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 40 SR awakening perfume. Each uncap costs 10 perfume, so the more copies you pull, you'll be using 10 less perfume. If you want him and only him, you can use the SR limited key from the event to purchase him, but if you do that and don't play the gacha, you're gonna need all those perfumes to uncap him. Now we got spells. The spells need 276 notepads, 253 textbooks, 31 grimoires, and 145,100 thou marks each, so like they both need that amount. Spell 1 needs them in blue books, and spell 2 needs gray. It will cost a total of 290,200 thou marks. So I've never covered these cards in detail, and as I'm learning about this happening again, I'm getting ready for a trip. My script writing is fast, but everything else isn't. I've covered the cards briefly in an old guide video, link will be in the iCard, but once I get back I'll either do a video on those cards and or just put them on my website. I'm building a text-based site for card info so you don't have to scour videos for stuff, but again, I don't have time to do something right now. I love you guys, but I am not missing my flight to Orlando. So those are the new cards this month. Like I said, links to old stuff will be in the description. This month is jam-packed and honestly, weird. Like, I don't know why we're getting Sledathon right now when we could get it in, like, November, but whatever, I guess. I'll keep you guys updated on stuff, but, like, I'm not gonna be back until, like, the second week of September because I'm doing Halloween Horror Nights and surprising my niece and her mom with a visit. So I'll see you guys later and let me know if you want a dedicated Terror's Trending card video. Thank you everyone for watching, and a very special thank you to my channel members and Twitch subs. Your support helps me to continue to make these videos. If you'd like early access to my videos, consider becoming a channel member. Patrons and Ko-fi members can get my scripts early before I record them. I livestream over on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see y'all later.